could have lived together, given up our dreams of wandering. We could have left together, given up our dreams of the home we could keep. And you may travel alone and still be accompanied by my love.
Y'all ready for this?
Welcome to episode 7 of High Friction Max TraXion. Thanks to our sponsors there, La Sportiva, for bringing on this show. Aaron, it's been a bit of a bonanza of a week, I must admit. We've had a few happenings here in La Sportiva land, Australia. Seems to be all centered down there in the Apple Isle this week. The news is coming out on the thing. So Rock Climbers has been active, and a few of our runners have been active, haven't they?
Yeah, we've got Jake Bresnahan down in Tassie, who has done some couple of great sends.
Yeah, he was on Flinders Island actually. So I suppose it's a part of Tasmania, but it's off the coast there, so a bit of a mission by the sounds of that.
Yeah, and I think early in his trip, because there's obviously been closures, and Jake got there. I think he had to quarantine, and but him and his partner Caitlin got out on the overland track.
Oh, that's right.
Which as a nice sort of day out and a day through. And then we've I don't know, it feels good that racing's kicked off in 2021 for some of our team members. So we had Mick Keat, Jill Fowler down there racing Cradle Mountain Run. Mick in 7th place, great run. Jill 3rd on the podium for the girls. She's done it a few times, which is awesome. And then Bogong Equipment athlete Matt Crean.
Yes.
And sub 8 hours, which is only the I think only 8 people have ever done that, and he's 4th fastest. So he's won, which is always the main thing, but in a very, very impressive time. So exciting times.
And I was chatting to both Jill and Mick, and they were saying the conditions were pretty rubbish down there. It's underfoot, really muddy and boggy. So that's a pretty impressive time there.
Yeah, we had I think they had like 80 or 90 mils the night before. And the 3 athletes, they all went different shoes, but all for those conditions. So we had Jill in Captivas, and we had Mick in Ultra Raptors, and Matt in the Jackal.
Oh, yeah, well, no wonder he won.
It does remind me, you had some exciting news that you shared with me during the week, which I'm waiting by the post office for.
Oh yeah, so not too far away, people. We've got the new La Sportiva summer range coming out for Australia, and it's wait a sec, I've got one of them here. Let me have it. It's the Caracal, so that's the new shoe coming out, and that is the ladies colour there, that one there. So it's a bit more of another ultra distance shoe. It's sort of like, I wouldn't say it's a spec down version of the Jackal, but it's got a different upper and a bit more a lighter mesh. So I know Jono, who we had on the show before, was sort of describing it as a recovery shoe as well. So definitely an ultra distance sort of shoe, but ultra distance trim, that can be 1 meter, can't it? Really? Up to 100.
That would have been perfect for Mick this week. He's recovering in Tasmania, getting up Cradle Mountain and out and about doing huge runs. So,
I just spoke to him and he's knackered. He says he's got 40 Ks tomorrow and he doesn't know what he's doing. But he's back in Adelaide next week, so we'll try to catch up with him.
Well, he is human, so
And also we're trying to catch up with Max. I think he's off walking or something, isn't he, in the Western Arthurs? So out of lockdown, all these non-Tasmanians are going crazy down there. So awesome.
Yeah, I got to have a quick chat to him, and then he was sort of off on a hike to make the most of getting out of Victoria, getting out get into Tasmania, and it's a pretty special part of the world. So keen to catch up with him. I'm in Melbourne next week, so hopefully get out for a run with him. Hopefully his legs are nice and sore because he's running well.
No, and by all reports, he sounds like he's lightning fast over the techie stuff as well, which is great to hear. And then just on Jake's thing, what was it called? It's called Fire Trail. He bagged the second ascent, Aaron, of that one. He said it was 30. I saw the footage of that thing. Oh, that's a bit of a steep 30. I tell you what. He sort of described it as this funky, technical finger locks or foot locks. But because it's so close to the coast, it does depend on the conditions. So if the wind's blowing the wrong way, that rock becomes slick. But if it's the right temperature and the right humidity, he says it's sort of not too bad. But I know the ascent. We'll have a chat to him. But I think old Caitlin belaying him, and I don't know how skilled Caitlin is at belaying. So we'll find out in a future podcast for sure. Cool.
Yeah, it'd be great.
So today's show we've lined up two special guests for today's podcast. I suppose both of them have been a bit a little bit in the running, one more than the other. But it's the two race directors from one of our events, is the Brisbane Trail Ultra up there obviously in Queensland. And so we're going to talk to both Cora and Shona about the race, some great news from the race as well, I believe, Aaron, and I suppose the people behind the race as well. It sounds quite so cool. All right, I'll let them in. They're waiting in our waiting room, so let me just bring them in one by one. Hopefully the Wi-Fi gods are working. Oh, here we go. Is Cora and Shona.
Hello. How you going?
In. Welcome to the podcast there, guys. Thanks for your time this afternoon and joining us for this edition of High Friction Max Traction. Cool.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Very good. So, well, welcome to the podcast. I guess we're, like for those who don't know you, Shona, first up, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I guess from the athlete point of view, you're quite a high-level athlete.
Yeah, I guess I'm now in, I would say I'm in the top paddock.
Retirement. Well,
it's a good paddock.
Yeah, but it's just because I do so much time on my legs as a running coach now, and obviously Brisbane Trail Ultra has taken over my life. So that's enough. If I try to fit, the ultra running involved, it's just, I can do one thing good at one time, and my OCD at the moment is instead of it being running, it's RDing. But when I was happy to run, I guess, I don't know, for about 10, 13 years, I think I was racing almost every two months or 1 month, like 1 to 2 months, and I'd race anything from 10K up to 100 mile. And I guess my best achievement would have been ranked 8th in the world after the Ultra Trail World Tour. Yeah.
That was in 2014, wasn't it? Was that your purple patch, so to speak?
I think it was 2014 was my killer year. Yeah. I like 2013, I still had a really good year, but I just DNF'd.
That's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, so if I was winning loads of races, but just not like on the one championship or the one, do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think I really understood the point system. I didn't understand what I should be racing for. Do you get what I mean? So anyway, I was just fanging it.
Well, I remember that your that era of racing, because it's obviously you did some of the biggest races in the world, UTMB, Ultra Trail Mount Fuji and stuff. Like you're scanning down the results, and it was always exciting to see a little Australian flag there, knowing that someone's doing really well, or top 10 stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, I was lucky. I managed a top 10 in any race that I finished.
That's good.
Except for
like last checkpoint, if you're in 11th, you just pulled the pin.
Last checkpoint of UTMB, that was when I ran into 10th place. But no matter what I was going to finish. But I did a vertical kilometre, as fun, and I think I got 19th for that. It was two days.
That's Europe. 19th in Europe is
pretty good.
Yeah, Mont Blanc, the Mont Blanc, that festival. So I did the marathon.
Okay. Yeah, I've done it. Yeah,
I think Aaron's even done the vertical K there.
I have. That was my first ever as well. So that was pretty special.
Yeah, it's not too steep. It was about 3 point something kilometers, 3.5. So
it's got a couple of switchbacks in it.
Yeah, a couple of switchbacks. I think there may even be a ladder involved too. I think.
Oh, nothing like a good ladder to climb up. Yeah, no.
Now I'm an ex Queenslander, so I knew you, Shona, from UTA and a few other places before you moved to Queensland, and then I sort of lost touch with the Queensland trail scene. So then I reconnected, and obviously I've met you, Cora, since in 2019 through your event. We'll talk more about that later, but yeah, what's a little bit about yourself?
What do? I'm a trail enthusiast.
So
I enjoy the trails. I'm nowhere near the top paddock. So yeah, I like just trudging around and mucking around and enjoying nature. Carry my camera around whenever I can. That's my excuse for running slowly.
Oh no, that's very important. Those fantastic pictures. Thank you very much.
Oh, great. But yeah, my background really isn't in running at all. So I use it as a form of entertainment and really just, what would you say? Just, enjoying being outdoors, kind of having a break. So BTU came around, and it's great to be able to actually enjoy your work as well. So
yeah, awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because you have a pretty serious job, I know, and you do a lot of BTU stuff in the evening, so you're a busy
You're helping this world pandemic, I've heard. Is this correct, or like trying to solve it? Someone told me. Is that correct, Cora?
Wasn't that kind of given out? I do work at UQ at University of Queensland, and we do some pretty amazing things there.
Yeah, for sure.
So really lucky. So running is probably my outlet. So use your brain during the day, and then use my brain to not fall over while I'm running.
Oh. So you like, what's the story? You guys met and then came up with the idea for Brisbane Trail Ultra. Like, what? That's
no, that's all Shona's baby. So
So I was training Cora at the time, and so I guess I wanted to put on a race, and I got a little bit sick. So and I really couldn't run for maybe about 7 months. I had to take off. So I was sick for 7 months.
Wow.
When I realized I was sick, and then I had to take another 7 months off to recover. And in that time, your brain doesn't stop. Like if you're an ultra runner, like that part of your brain to do something, to achieve a goal, just doesn't switch off. It is still you. And so I needed to do it. And I was literally going into, hot yoga at the time, in tears, because I wasn't doing it. Do you get what I mean? I wasn't following what I was.
Yeah, what you've been doing.
Yeah, you're a bit lost.
Yeah, and then initially we had another mate approached me and to help out, and he kept pestering. And after he pestered for about a month, I went, fine, I'll do it with you, because I knew if I was going to get involved in something, I knew what it was going to be like, and it was just going to turn into a monster, and which it has, and I knew it was the vision that I had was going to make it as big as the best, most prestigious trail running event that Queensland had seen, and that was the goal. So it then meant that I could use my brain and that energy that you never lose to put into something really good. So I felt that Brisbane in Queensland was screaming out for a really cool event that really hit the trails and the rainforest, and also made use of our proximity to like the airport and the city. And as you know, Aaron, like you flew in from Melbourne and you could stay right on the finish line, and to be able to finish an event where you could be at like a really, really nice hotel, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds very European, that type of event.
So you could party, like the Emporium Hotel is right there. Do you know what I mean? And to party, run the trails, and you're not that far away from the trails, and to connect the city with the trails was what we wanted to do. And of course we made everyone finish at night time too, because the Brisbane River, a bit like the Thames in England, is in London is that we do put on a light show every night. There's city lights and reflecting off the river. So it's stunning the last
Yeah.
running. Really pretty.
I mean, that's one of the highlights of the event, isn't it? Like that, you're running back into the city, which is pretty common obviously in a lot of the European races, but not so common here in Australia.
Yeah,
hats off to you guys for doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really new concept, and a lot of people said that it could never be done. But I guess, as me as a running coach, I knew, like, because I run all the trails, and I know the city route, I know how to get here and there as quickly and most effectively as possible. And really, we only run on 3 kilometers of road, and then the rest is on cycle paths or bike paths. It's actually not like you have to negotiate through like a city. We divert around it, and then we make use of the river. And then for the peak periods, we get the cops involved, and we have police stopping the traffic for you, so you feel like a superstar. Which in trail running, it doesn't happen, but we kind of time the event so we can, like, we time the bulk of the people to all come through at once, and then we know when the elite runners are going to come through and make sure that there's cops there for you. So then there's no.
Yeah, I remember the 2019. Well, the first year. All the different runners, like we had Sam Burridge from the team up there, and we were all saying, like, who's going to get in first? Like, will it be the 30s? Will it be the 60s? So they can start. And as soon as you cross the line, everyone was looking, the 30s are already here. That kind of thing. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was cool. In for 2020, we had to change it around. So instead of trying to make it so everybody finishes at once,
cool.
You had
we had to spread everybody out. So that was the difference between 2019 and 2020. But 2021, we are going back to the 2019 format.
Oh, very good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll talk about each event or each edition later in the show. But obviously, I mean, and how did you get involved there, Cora? Like, did you see, like, obviously, by the sounds of it, you're very scientific. You've got a very clinical mind. And were you sort of roped into the organisation of this and sort of the logistics side of it? Is that how you got involved?
I think Cora thought that I needed help.
Oh, right.
Well, I spend a lot of time with Shona. So, we discussed a lot of things, and it was almost like I can help.
Yeah.
And
yes,
I think, but I think you can probably see we're chalk and cheese, so it works really well. I think it works really well.
It's a good balance. Don't worry. We have this in our work environment here as well. We have the passionate, crazy and then we have the more level-headed.
I wouldn't say that. No, we work very well together.
Yeah, so. It's good.
It's good to hear that the backstory, because I only obviously my first involvement with Brisbane Trail Ultra was hearing about it, seeing it on social media, and thinking, oh, that looks good. And my wife and family are always keen to get back to Queensland, so I was like, maybe put that on my race calendar. And then you guys contacted me. I also do a role with ITRA, the International Trail Running Association, and I got contacted by both of you and invited to it. And I was like, oh, perfect. Like, I get to go to a big event, new event, and check it out. Because at the time we were looking for a Queensland event, an event to tie into we'll sort of meet and be part of the Queensland trail community. So it was I was able to go there and you guys gave me a starting bib, which was cool as well, and got to experience it. I remember coming back and thinking, that's a great event. You guys were a great team, put on first edition. It was very impressive what you guys put on.
And I suppose the other attraction, you guys, obviously for us Southerners, you put it in the middle of July, so it's our winter. So I think especially Victorians, and they want to escape their winter, so up they go for a bit of a suntan your way. So that's definitely a nice little incentive for people that want to escape the cold from down.
Well, I'd actually flew back into Australia like 2 days before Brisbane Trail Ultra.
Oh, wow.
So from lovely, warm, the Dolomites and hanging out in Europe, and then into Melbourne, and it was cold and wet and winter.
Yeah.
So even I think I only had 24 hours at home before I jumped on a plane to go to BTU, but I wasn't complaining because it was back into some warmth.
Geez, Aaron, the jet setter. Cheers.
Yeah. Back in 2019, that's what you did.
Yeah, that's right. Cool. So I suppose, I mean, the other thing is, what is the trail scene up there in Brisbane I've never gone running around Brisbane. I mean, it looks lovely every time I fly in. I see the lovely hills there, and I see where you guys are running. But have you got a really active scene? Is there a lot of people out there running of different ability? Obviously, we know Ben Duffus, I believe, comes from that way, and we see him regularly at our events.
The king of Mount Cootha.
Yeah, no, he's a bit of a weapon. So yeah. So what's it like being a trail runner in Brisbane?
Maybe Cora's better at naming all the elites than me because she follows it better. But,
Oh, right, okay.
But no, we do have some good runners. We've got Jess Schutler, we've got Nolas is coming through, we've got
and as you said, Ben, I think
But
Risha
probably
is
more,
up here. Yeah.
more like the actual, just like you're saying, what do you call yourself, Cora? A trail enthusiast?
Trail enthusiast, yeah. Is there
like when I left Queensland in the early 2000s, I wouldn't say there was much of a trail scene. People ran trails, don't get me wrong, and there was a few races, and they were like quite small. There was that era was like the fat ass races up on the Sunshine Coast and stuff. And then to come, like I saw, on social media, I started to see the Brisbane, what is it? What's the big club there? Brisbane Trail Runners, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that was like how much it had grown. Yeah.
So we're so lucky with. Oh, I'll let you know.
I think Brisbane Trail Runners have about 5,000 members.
Okay.
Oh heck, jeez.
Yeah, it's big. Bunya, we have Brisbane Trail Runners. We've got Bunyaville with about 800.
Bunyaville Trail Runners. So that's where I started. Bunyavilles, and we're really lucky in that pretty much you're not really stuck to this is the one group I run with. We've run with how many people, Shona? So as you mentioned, Brisbane Trail Runners, the Bunya crew, we've got the Springfield Runners group, White Rock Warriors, so all out of Brisbane as well.
All right.
And even River City Runners that run the River City are also trail runners, and we've got people just up a little bit further north, AAA racing guys. So there's a
some of those guys
trail scene.
They're involved in BTU, aren't they? They run your
they are.
aid stations and stuff. Because I'm hearing those names and going, oh yeah, I remember those, and I remember seeing those shirts and those crews. So that's cool.
Yeah, the community is amazing. For us to put on an event like we do, I think we have about 300 volunteers. And the running groups, they really do step up. They handle the checkpoints for us. They handle the finish line. They just are amazing, and we really couldn't do it without them. But it is because people, I don't know if it's about being a Queenslander, but they believe in looking after the community, looking after each other, and we can't do it without them.
That's the cool thing about small communities, I guess, is like everyone gets in together and helps. I mean, it's the downfall of like big cities like Sydney is that we've got a lot of people here, but you lose a little bit of that.
This is not that small.
Oh well, a bit bigger than Mount Beauty, but
definitely bigger than Mount Beauty.
Yeah, I can reflect because obviously I'm originally from Adelaide, and that community spirit is in a lot of Adelaide events as well. So you can, and I know the trail scene in Adelaide's pretty big, and you're like, oh my god, it's massive. Yeah, they get like, like at these little small events, they're getting thousands of runners at these things. So I mean, obviously running on road, running on trail, it's all running, and I think it's great that people are out there doing it, isn't it? Yeah, and I mean, why not? Brisbane's is a fantastic spot to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're lucky because literally the trails really do start like 8 kilometers from the CBD, and that's just unheard of. And I think because then we are almost wrapped in trails too, like little spots all over the place. It does mean that the scene, like, for I think Southeast Queensland is 5 million people, that, there's a lot of trail runners here, and we're surrounded in bush, like we've got the coast, so
well, I ran trails there that I mean, even having lived there and gone to uni in Brisbane, I was a bit like, whoa, it was amazing. Like some of those, because I sort of ran in those days, I would run like a little pocket, like you ran out at the Jinka track, or you ran in Enoggera, and you just stayed in that little area. So when they were all linked together, and I knew like Mount Cootha and stuff, and when I popped out of that lookout at one point, I was like, I kind of had no idea where I was. Next minute, you're like, now I know where I am, but how did I get here? And that was really awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, they were all my old training routes. So when I was training for, obviously when I was going overseas, I need to find as much elevation gain and loss as possible. And so I would, yeah, they were all my little tracks. So the ones that you were running around through Barton, which all those little single trails, they've been my discoveries. So I'd only moved up to Brisbane in 2014. And so I'm originally from Sydney. So all I did was hunt for trails when I got here, and then look at my topo lines. And so that's how I discovered the biggest climbs. But then I was also looking for rainforests and as much track as possible.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And so with all those little mini runs, you joined them all up for the BTU. Is that the sort of the thinking behind it, Shona? When you said, oh yeah, I can make a 100-mile event doing this.
Yeah, I knew where to take people. I knew where to take people to get as much elevation gain and loss as possible. I guess like the athlete, the coach in me, it doesn't switch off. It's like if we're going to send our athletes overseas, like they have to be prepared for what Europe or Japan or New Zealand is going to give them. So I want to make sure that I give them an event where it will prepare them for overseas. So 8,000 meters of elevation gain and loss, it's you know.
Does snow in Brisbane, does it? You got some snow on those mountains? No, only kidding. No.
No altitude.
No. Yeah, I understand.
So it's a lot easier than no altitude, no breathing issues, but we do get we get enough for them.
We get a lot of heat as well in summer training. So.
Yeah, I was going to say the humidity is a shocker. That's why I've never been a fan of Brisbane. But anyway, because I like it nice and cool.
It's an interesting one. I don't find it as bad. I think we've actually got more consistent weather than Sydney. Because like you get up and it's just like straight up 30 degrees consistently and it just doesn't go down.
Yeah, but you definitely know to you set an alarm clock when you're living in Brisbane to get out early. Like that's what I always remember is then it was bearable, but yeah, certainly summer.
But isn't it something about the curtains fading and the cows and stuff like that? The daylight saving thing? Is that some Queensland thing? Anyway, I can never work that out.
It will be,
economically, the farmers or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But, no, it's always entertaining when I end up in Brisbane and like a winter's day and it's like 25 degrees and there's people walking around in down jackets.
Yeah, definitely. You got to wait for those days. It's like I remember it was the Echo Week. The Brisbane show
week. Yeah.
We used to call that the cold week because you put on your warm jacket that week. It's probably
winds came through. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good memories of growing up there and running there. But yeah, certainly good memories of getting back there. As I guess in 2019 having the so much change. I mean, not just in Queensland, like in New South Wales, Victoria, right around Australia, how much the trail scene has boomed here, which is for us, it's like Las Pativa wise, it's we're part of that, so it's really, really cool to see.
Yeah, now we really see a noticeable difference on. I mean, a little bit different with what's happened last year. I think everyone's taken up running, so a bonus for you guys coming into 2021 event. There'll be a lot of people signing up for it, but a lot more running shoes of. Yeah, obviously out there being consumed by lots of people, so that's really cool. Cool.
Hi, I'm Aaron, co-founder here at Scratch Labs, the world's first active nourishment company. What does that mean? Nobody knows. Something the marketing department came up with right before we fired them. Here at Scratch Labs, we make a great tasting, all-natural sports drink that has fewer calories, more electrolytes, and absolutely no artificial anything. Big deal, right?
It's a huge deal.
Some people think so. Does your sports drink really need things like blue number 1, red number 40, and brominated vegetable oil? Dude, that's a fire retardant. I'll get it. Here at Scratch Labs, we only use ingredients you've actually heard of and can pronounce. Hey, Sugar Bear. For instance, care to guess what's in our lemon lime flavor? Yeah, lemons and limes. We've got 4 flavors now, but we're always working on new ones.
Nowadays, it's like strawberries.
Of course they do, sweetheart. Of course they do. We call our newest flavor pineapples. Is that because we use a bunch of chemicals that taste like pineapples? No. It's because we use, actual pineapples. Look, don't overcomplicate things. Scratch Labs makes a sports drink that has everything you need and nothing you don't. We're not exactly doing rocket science, people. Okay, we're doing a little bit of rocket science. So stop using an artificially colored, artificially flavored, chock full of preservatives sports drink and start using an all-natural one that actually works and doesn't taste like crap. We are Scratch Labs, and that's the end of our commercial. Okay, that's the end of our commercial.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Thanks to our sponsors' words there from Scratch. A very nice energy, hydration, and soon-to-come recovery product. Cool. So, Shona and Cora, let's go back in time. Not that far back in time, only a couple of years. 2019, when the first edition sort of came around, and I remember I was in Europe. I heard all the fanfare, the buzz, the lights, the action. It looked fantastic, like from an outsider looking in, and I'm a bit of a mid-packer, so I love the old running events, and I just thought, man, this is a real cool event. You know, you're running into Brisbane, there's party mode, it's almost like UTMB without the mountains of Mont Blanc, but yeah. So I mean, tell us, you know, your emotions on that first event. I mean, it was a lot of hard work, I know, and you're probably seeing double and you're hallucinating. But it looked just brilliant.
That was yeah, crack up emotions. I don't think we actually had any energy left for emotion.
Right, okay.
Doing and surviving and throwing it all together. No, yeah, look, I think we put enough process involved in play that we were okay. Yeah, it was our first ever event that we put on, and we decided to put on, was it 4 events in one plus a Red Bull climb?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was going to say, I forgot.
100 mile plus a Red Bull climb. So to pull it all together and then to finish in the city, is yeah, everyone said you'll never get it done. I said, nah, man, we're gonna do this. But yeah, we needed the big party atmosphere at the end. We needed champagne, we needed chips, we needed food, we needed a reason why people to hang around, and we wanted that. We wanted you to be able to sit there, wait for your friends, and then also have like the city in the backdrop behind you, and just enjoy the riverfront. So
yeah, no, that's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, if lots of events, I mean, I know the bigger events that draw those crowds, and it's so nice for runners to, you know, when you come in and you're welcomed by your friends and and family, and it's just like, it's for, you know, we can talk about the elite and we can talk about the winners and stuff like that, but for the mid pack and the guys at the back, it's so nice to have that atmosphere coming into a city like that. And and definitely congratulations for pulling that event.
Yeah, I remember that first year, like Shona said, my accommodation's really close to the finish line, and then you sort of check into the hotel, walk out into the balcony, and I'm like, oh, there's the Red Bull, the banner. I think that's it. And you know, I was pretty jet lagged still, so it was good to be close, but also the, you know, restaurants and cafes and everything that are right there, and then to wander across one of the bridges into the city as well was really cool. It was. I knew Brisbane obviously pretty well, but I remember a couple of our the athlete groups that went out for some taper runs, and they like got lost. I remember Beth Cardelli added about 7 or 8 Ks to her run the night before the race. So I was like, Beth, where were you? Oh, I just kept following the river. I'm like, it's a big river. Like, but she appeared. Yeah, it was really cool. Like, I'd never done a race like that. I finished literally in a capital city. Like, for me, that was like this is really cool. So,
yeah. I was going to say, Aaron, you're telling us a story about catching the bus as well up to the start.
Oh,
a bit late, were you? Anyway, we'll move on.
I may have been pretty casual for the 30K start, and I said to Beth, don't worry, we'll catch a bus out to the Gap. And we got talking, and we were on the bus, and we got to like the end of the bus route. And of course, we were like, I said, we've missed the bus stop, Beth. And she's like, because she wanted to get an Uber or something. And I was like, no, don't worry.
Because it's $4.50 for a bus ride to get from the city out to the Gap. It's like, this is so cheap. It's like,
it's Brisbane.
Yes, it's
the bus driver dropped us back at the start finish area. He was like, oh, where are you from? Sydney, Victoria. Oh, I'll drop you back there. I'll tell you where to get off. So we made it. It was good.
Just lucky. Lucky. So. All just to save a couple of cents, Aaron. And I suppose, I mean, Shona, you touched on this. Why do you race directors and race organisers want to put on a million different categories? So we've got, do you have the 10? Do you have 10 in the first year? 20?
No,
30, Well, this is what's coming up apparently.
Yeah,
10, 20, 30, 60, 110, 100 miles, and then you've got the Red Bull climb. How many events?
There's 6 or 7.
6
We
or
don't
7.
know.
Oh, it sounds like Big Bash 2020 cricket. Yeah, it never ends.
Yeah, it's I think we met so many people who wanted to be involved, but they couldn't do 30k. So we had a relay as well. So of course we had relay involved.
Oh, yeah, forgot about it. Yeah.
But then because of COVID, we didn't really push the relays because we didn't know how many people you want to hang around at once. And so now we're not COVID-y. We still have relays. It's still happening. But then if people can't find a friend, they can just do it on their own. And so that's why we have the 10 and the 20 as well. So it's splitting up the 30k. So they can either run into checkpoint number 1 or checkpoint number 6, or which is Mount Cootha, or they can just start at the last checkpoint and run into
the city. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, 10Ks, anyone, it's a great, easy way to get into it, isn't it? I mean, you can have a hard 10K. Cortina.
It's a decent.
Do not sign up for an easy 10K.
Good 10K.
I think I did a 20K sky run.
Well, you guys, as race directors, do about 10K on your feet.
Yeah, I mean,
on the day. I remember seeing you out on course, Cora, and I was thinking, how are you were everywhere. Like, and I was impressed because I was like, I mean, as always, the running's the easy part. Like, you just run. So you were like, I came out of a nice little forest section, and there you're like, hi, Aaron. Everything all right? Have fun? And I was like, I think that was the race director, because I've always respected that people would get out on course, like not just in the bubble. So yeah, that was impressive. And I obviously went back to Matt after it, and I said, hey, if you still want a Queensland event, this Brisbane Trail Ultra is I think it's the one. Like, it was really good. Were you guys happy with that first edition? Like, did you walk away with that same feeling, like that was a lot of hard work, but it was good?
Yeah, I guess we knew we were onto a winner. It was just more like the perfectionists in Cora and I. We can't help ourselves. We're like, right, how can we make this better? So we, and we, yeah. and so then like 2020 happened, but it's I guess we loved, like, poor Cora's out on the course. She had no idea what was going on at the finish line. I got to see the finish line. I got to see everyone's faces going, woohoo, this is amazing. This is the best event ever. I love it, love it, love it. Poor Cora's up in, the ops room or whatever, just trying to deal with any issues that are going on. Oh, this track marker's gone down. Or this person needs to be pulled off the course because of this. And so she has a very, very different, I guess, view of the race than what I do. So I get to quickly go around early and look after everyone, but then I get to really feel it and see it, and I'll be on the phone going, Cora, man, you need to get down here.
You're on the champagnes.
Having a good time.
You're on the champagnes, aren't you there, Shona? And poor Cora's out there in the bush struggling. Oh,
in 2020, we had Newstead Brewery come on board, and Cora was concerned that I was starting to hit the beers, but I'm sitting back. She goes, "Are you drunk, Shona?" I go, "No, but everyone else is. Everyone else is really pissed, and they're all having a good time." So
last year you sort of finished in a bar, didn't you? Almost.
We did. Thank goodness, like, COVID happened, but in some ways that can be a good thing, because then. Sorry, anyone who wanted to get married last year, but it meant that all the
that's all the venues were open.
And so we got a really good venue. So we got a wedding venue for our finish line. So we were actually kicked off isn't like 2020 was a year of, let's just get
challenges.
Everything we booked, we got kicked out of from.
I remember getting emails from you guys, and you're like, oh, this is what we're going to do, and then it'd be like 2 weeks later,
it'd be different.
Changes have come in, now we can't do this. And I remember just thinking, like, for such a big event, what a tough job it is. That was you guys did super well.
But in saying that, you were like one of the only events that actually did happen last year. So congratulations to working through with obviously the Queensland government and getting that event up and running. I mean, obviously numbers were down because us Southerners couldn't get there. But no, it was good.
Yeah, initially we actually kind of said just don't enter until you know, and so we had probably 100 people who were affected, and but it didn't affect us that much. I think we could absorb it quite easily and deferred people, and then people on-sold their tickets too. So I think in all of it, I think we only had to do like 20 refunds, seriously.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we could absorb it. It wasn't too bad at all.
Yeah.
I guess like when we're jumping through all those hoops, I guess, you know, my nutty is we're going to get this job done no matter what. And then we had Cora, like coming from, you know, working with, you know, the virus or infectious disease anyway. So it did mean that we had her amazing background to make sure that whatever we did it with confidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were so lucky to have Cora there going, no, we do this, we're going to be fine.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
cool. Oh, no.
But some of
sounds
it,
great.
like, wasn't there like even like the council decided to, you know, redevelop a boardwalk or something like 2 weeks out. Like it was just insane the challenge you.
Oh, as you do,
at you guys.
Aaron. You gotta fix your boardwalks up during a pandemic. What are you talking about? It's Queensland.
His jobs. But then the Suncorp Stadium was the best one.
Oh, there was a game on, wasn't there? Yeah, that's right.
I went, okay, because I'm from New South Wales originally. I know grand final weekend happens in New South Wales on the October long weekend. We're going to move our event to October long weekend because I know there's not a rugby league game on that weekend, and we're going to be all fine. The season is over, we're going to be fine. But then COVID was happening. I didn't think that they would put on the final then, and everything was pushed back. But then we had a contingency plan, and we actually that course is still really good, and people were actually asking for the new course. So.
Oh yeah. I know. For me, as an ex-Queenslander, running past the Wally Lewis statue was the highlight of the race for me.
Who's Wally Lewis? Who are you talking about? Who is he?
Oh.
The king, mate.
You get to run past the Wally Lewis statue. It's crack up. So you run past the stadium and then go over the.
Yeah.
So.
No, really, it is. It's such a good course.
What,
you know,
is there a Carl Rackerman or Craig McDermott statue there? They'd be way more impressive.
No, they're at the Gabba, mate.
Oh, Gabba! Oh, sorry, wrong field. Oh.
We've got the best rugby league stadium in Australia. So, Queensland does. So.
Yeah, right. Victoria.
So, we couldn't obviously be there in 2020.
We couldn't come up in 2020.
Yeah, like I had it on my calendar, and it was definitely part of our plan to be there and for Matt to see the race and to see it all unfold, and we couldn't be there. So you guys did a fantastic job. I know K2 in Brisbane worked with you guys, and
Daniel was there at the event, and we sent one of our guys, Matt, up there to help him out as well. So
and of course we've got Hayley, who that was a bit of luck really. Hayley moving from South Australia to Queensland, as BTU started.
Yeah. No,
I was going to say, how did it work? Because obviously we spoke to John O'Wire a couple of podcasts ago about running events and stuff like that, and you were using the staggered starts, weren't you? So she actually came across the line and she didn't know if she'd won. How did that all happen, and how did that work for you guys? Was that stressful with the timing and the different times and starts and stuff last year?
With the 100 miles, 110k runners, pretty much, and the 60k runners, there was maybe one 60k runner. I looked at her and I said to her, I think you need to be in the front group, but she was happy to start five minutes behind.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
But when we
I think
30k runners, it was like we had to wait a full hour.
But before you got all the results, okay.
Yeah, because we didn't want to put pressure on people to. Like we did a proper COVID start. Like you know how you see some events and they go, yeah, we're COVID safe. This is still a mosh pit at the start.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen this. Yeah.
No, it's 1.5 centimetre distance, isn't it? Oh, 1.5 metres. Oh.
Can you imagine me? I was policing the start line, making sure that everyone was keeping a distance, and it was. So that, if you look at any footage from the start, it looks terrible, but it's COVID safe. So, but it did mean that the 30k runners, that was quite stressful. It took a little while to call it, and then a lot of the people thought that they'd won and they hadn't. And
okay.
Yeah. So it was that old. But like we've got Coastal Classic down in Sydney, and that was similar, where you kind of running and because I start everyone like a 30-second interval.
Oh yeah, so it's basically it's a time trial, isn't it? Yeah, you just go.
All right.
We just let everybody know that it was a time trial,
Yeah.
and that it's not going to be gun time, it's going to be chip time. So it meant that, if they're going to be in a further back wave, not to panic, it's all okay. So it meant that they could have a stress-free start for COVID, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And did you have like a 30-second interval between each person? Is that how it worked when you
We
started them
actually
off?
gave a 5-minute interval between.
Oh, okay,
So
right.
what we did was groups of 10, and then it was 5 minutes between each group. So then it really meant that by the time they got up to a checkpoint, the checkpoints weren't going to be overrun. Everything was going to be.
Yeah, no, good thinking.
Yeah, we're not just thinking about the start line. We're thinking about how is that checkpoint people going to manage our runners as they come through? Is there going to be enough space? Are they going to be able to hand sanitize? Is there going to be enough space at the top bags? That kind of stuff. So we did we allowed everybody to have a drop bag at every single checkpoint. So it meant that instead of everyone going to the food station, we still had food and water out there, but if they didn't want to go to the food station, they wanted to control their own food,
they got the drop bag.
Let them have a drop bag in every checkpoint. That was the 30K runners too. So they could control their own hygiene for the event.
And you could, was the checkpoint set up slightly differently? Normally you rock up and there's like, it's a smorgasbord of goodies, like cakes, lollies and fruit and stuff like that. I'm going to stay here a bit longer. But,
we had to run that. Yeah, we had to run that COVID safe as well. So we went by a fair few frameworks as well. And Shona had, a bird's eye view of every checkpoint drawn up that we had to submit.
Wow.
So it was very prescriptive. So
yeah, God, like you said, you'd be hoping the 2021 edition doesn't have those layers, or that it is different.
We don't really mind. We've got it ready to go.
I guess that's it. Yeah,
we're ready for it. It's for us compared to last year. It's like, whatever. We're ready to do the wave starts if needed. We're ready to do anything. Even in regards to food. I remember I rocked up, with fruit cups, because everything needed to be pre-packaged.
Yeah.
You could have a banana, you could have mandarins, you could have chips.
Oh, because it got skins. Yeah, okay, right. Yeah.
Anything. But then I went, fruit cups. They're 50 cents a serve. I'm going to get this for everybody. And
peel straight in.
And they're hydrating, and so everyone loves fruit cups.
Yeah, cool. No, it's good.
You just have to think a little bit differently than normal. I even had rice, little rice things ready to go from microwaves at the finish line. Yeah, like little hot soups. So you just have to be a little bit more creative.
Sort of the negative is it's all a bit pre-packaged, so this whole wastage of packaging. But it's a circumstance we have to.
And that's the other reason why we encourage. We were still trying to be like a cup-free event.
Yeah.
We didn't want to give everybody just like a plastic bottle at each checkpoint. So that was the other reason why we were encouraging people to bring their own drop bags and to fill their own water.
Oh, so they had water and fuel, their hydration and stuff in it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they can use their own reusable water bottle. So we're encouraging that. So then we just didn't want this massive pile of plastic at the end.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of the sad thing, unfortunately, is that you're seeing a lot more one-use plastics out in the environment again. But you've been so good, then all of a sudden, someone gets a bug, and then we're going back to the old ways. But for good reason, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. So 2021, obviously, it's a bit of a different year. Hopefully, we're going to get through it all. The country will not be fully vaccinated by the time your event comes around, I've been told. Is it October? I think they're trying to get around there. But we'll hope you'll have some Southerners come up to your event. Hopefully, we'll get some Kiwis there as well. The bubble. Well, they can come here, but the problem is they've got to go back, and they've got to do the 14 days in hotel quarantine back. Yeah. So that's my understanding. Yeah, there's some good. There's some good.
Discussing that in March, I think, how that's going to happen.
Cool. So we get some Kiwis. Yeah. We don't want the Kiwis. They're too good. It's weapons, aren't they? They beat us.
Right, yeah. Well, that's I do know. Like over the last 2 years, it's a great event. Get a part of it, but there's also been some really good performances there. Like Kelly's winning the 110, and Vlad's win the same year, and Sam in the 60, and then Ben this year. I think. Well, I know from seeing the list, that was the highest rank ITRA result from Ben in the 60K. So if you're a runner out there and you want to, you want to measure yourself against someone, you've Ben's time to have a go against, or Vlad's or Kelly's or Haley's or whatever it might be. So that an event's good when it's like that's who it's drawing, but then the field will be bigger and you guys, I think you had a triathlete or something won the 30K last year that just give trail running a go and just blitzed it. So.
I think that was the thing about COVID. It meant that like a lot of the triathlons were cancelled, and so they were all looking. They're fit people, man. They're super fit, and they're looking for something else. So I think trail running did attract a few triathletes to it. Yeah. So
that's cool.
Paul Beth didn't come up, but we got some new. I think we had. I was going through the list and I can't remember the exact percentage, but there was a lot of new people. I've never done a race before. It was really cool. Yeah. It was like maybe 10% easy. Yeah.
It's quite cool. You're getting a wide group of sort of people joining the thing. I mean, like I was saying before, they're all runners. Yeah. So Adam Hansen, is he lined up? You reckon, Aaron, for next year's event? Or this
well, he's going back to triathlon, so he's a Queenslander. So why not?
Yeah. You might see a ex-pro cyclist at this year's event.
We announced last week on the podcast that Andrew Ahar, like our one of our climbers, was going to go on Holy Moly, the TV show. It's not true, but we announced it anyway. So there it is this week. Adam Hansen is racing BTU in 2021 this year.
Google search that, everyone.
Cool. I mean, he's like a Tour de France rider. He's a cyclist who's going to triathlon. But you guys do have some big news for the 2021 edition. You want to tell us more about that?
Yeah, we've landed a prestigious place of 10 races on the Spartan Trail World Championship. Which is really, really cool because we it's like with other events like Lavaredo and Run Pennsylvania. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. 20 Ks of hard work, whenever that was. Yeah.
Well, there is a BTU 20, so there you go. Get the matching
medal.
Sign
me up. I want the matching medal.
So for us to be placed with those kind of other events, and those events have been running for 14 years, and we've only done 2.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And we were chatting about this since maybe May, I think. Was it? I think it was like May. So even after a year, we kind of impressed the right people, which was really cool. So we're very, very excited, and hopefully by the end of the year there might be some travel, and it will be like a world championship. But even if it doesn't like happen as we all want it to happen, we all get to travel around, I think there's going to be enough Australians and enough Kiwis, if they can get over to the Brisbane Trail Ultra, to go, hey, you know what, I want a piece of that prize in 2022. I want to know the course now in 2021 and just get it in the game.
Yeah,
so
it's good.
Time, we will be running, we will be racing, and there will be prize money. And I think we've got about $12 US to give away, which is not too bad. Plus, then we've got 2,000 in, so 1,000 each for the winner in the Aura 110K long course trail championship.
Just sign up. I'll be there. Payday.
That's it.
If you think about it, US dollars, so 20%. So
the currency's dying. And I'm good though. Now that they've got a new guy running the show over there. So that's good,
well, let's hope travel can take place, because it certainly, there's some other great events on that list. Obviously, we know Lavaredo, and that's we were excited to see that announced as part of that as well. But then you guys, so for us, it's a good match.
Double bonus.
So we super excited. I think it's just the way that the Spartan Trail World Championships want to do it is that they really do want to, I guess, support the athletes, support the industry, but we all are able to keep our own identity, because they understand that ultra runners, we're a very selective breed and we love our sport and we don't want that to change. And so, it's just really nice that we are kind of making it a bit more professional than what it has been in the past, and more prize money going to the athletes. I think that's
that's really cool.
Been really trying to push along.
And obviously the Spartan, there's a race they're all scattered around the globe, which is caters for obviously Lavaredo's in Italy, I believe, is what
Transvolcanaria in
Trans.
Islands. Then we've got Borneo Trail Classic. There's one San Francisco, Spartan
Cool.
Trail Classic, San Francisco. One in
Trans
Sweden.
Lantau in Hong Kong.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which of the two, like, which of your two races are, like, sort of, obviously the event is, but is it the 30 and the,
The
Yeah,
30
the
and the 100 miler.
yeah,
Yeah.
because well, I know from our team point of view, like Sam Burridge, who won the 60K in the first year, he's like, I'm doing the 30 now. Like,
Yeah, we
I
were
want
having
to
a-
get amongst that. And I was like, oh, dang, like, you know, I'll possibly be racing you and you know, chasing you, well, distantly, you know, yeah. So that it's,
See you at the
I
finish
think
line.
there's an appeal for people to be strategic with what races they do. And I did notice in that series there's variety. They're not like all 100Kers. They're not all like, there's a bit of, yeah, I think that's really positive as well. So yeah, it's cool.
Case
So
for all
we
types of
wanted
runners.
we wanted our 100-mile to be on the championship because we felt that Australia really needed a prestigious 100-mile event, and so we wanted to be that prestigious 100-mile event. So the 30K it just sat in there because it had to be under like a marathon.
The ultra, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay, right. Yeah.
We offered, yeah. So there's that. So it's a marathon to like 30K to a 50K, and then it's above 50Ks for the next one. So our 60K sits out of it, yeah. But we've got Vlad. Who we got? Vlad. We've got Ben Duffus. They're all doing the 100-mile. We've got Nolan.
Ah, yeah, I did hear. Yeah.
Oh, right. They're signing up for the big one.
Ryan.
Ooh.
Yeah, we've got Karen Barrett.
Ewan's back, isn't he? Is Ewan in?
Oh, he had plans to be there last year, so
Yeah.
he'd be keen.
Oh, it's a bit short for him, to be honest. 100-mile. You got to add another 100-mile. Yeah, he's
done a double miler, so we
what's that?
make jokes that it's like, you know, it's only half.
Yeah,
the
it
race.
warms up at about 160K. Yeah, yeah. So no, he won the. Is it Tahoe? I think it's 200 miles.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen that lake from the air. There's no way I'd run around it. Anyway, good on him. That's it's pretty cool. Yeah, no, cool. Oh, so that's really cool. So that's going to encourage a lot more sort of people up to your event with that sort of connection with the Spartan Trail series there. That's pretty fantastic. And
it just adds another layer to it, doesn't it? Another reason to head north.
Cool. Head north. Now, obviously, entries are open. Now, it's July. Checking my notes. July 10th, isn't it? 10th and 11th is the weekend. So is that the second week in July? Entries are coming in thick and fast. Is that right, guys?
They are. We're over 50% capacity, and we pushed it up this year. So.
Oh, okay. And where do we sign up? What's the website address here? We can flash it up on the screen for the people watching.
Just go to our website, which is Brisbane Trail Ultra.earth, and from there is pretty easy. There's like a big fat like
enter here.
Yeah.
If you are saying, if you want the cash, enter here. That's what it is. Okay. Lovely. Oh, cool.
Well, yeah, like we said, hopefully we can be there and enjoy like the third edition with you guys and to see it all unfold again. Hopefully with you know, everything you've learned from the first 2 years and hopefully a more normal year. It could be fantastic.
Is there a bar finish this year as well, or is it?
There will be a bar. We're designing that. We
very good.
So Red Bull are all over it again. So they're going to come with a DJ and the big party, and Newstead Brewing Co. They're all over it, and they want the bar to pump.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm going to get a liquor license, and we're going to make that party pump. So it's going to be lots of fun.
All right.
And this year it's going to be under the Story Bridge, so we're making you run.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's going to be
a bit iconic, isn't it?
Yeah, so Story Bridge, city, really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost as good as the Sydney Harbour Bridge. We'll give that to you.
You run past Kangaroo
Point.
There.
Yeah.
I do. Oh, a bit of rock climbing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I think I saw Ben Duffus having a little climb after the race.
After the event, yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Just run 60Ks and then just go for a climb as you do.
Yeah, he really reminded doing that. Wow, yeah. And he did it in like crazy time as well. And
he's quality.
Yes, he doesn't run in our footwear, but he climbs in our footwear. There you go. So,
That's it.
Cool. Now, awesome things, and hopefully we're going to. Well, we are getting through this whole pandemic. Australia has done a fantastic job, and I think we're the envy of the world out there at the moment. when I was talking to all my friends in the US, and they asked us how it's going, and I said, oh, really the only thing down here that's Corona is Mexican beer. But obviously we've got to be careful. There's still obviously there's little bits and pieces popping up and out there, so obviously be safe out there when you're talking, when you're out there mixing with people. Yeah. Oh, great, Cora and Shona, thanks for your time today. It's been great. We hope you all the best in the lead up to this year's event, and obviously on your Facebook page, a lot of information about your little what do they call them, practice days and days you get out with a lot of the people, and I know there's some little cool little videos, and we'll pop one at the end of the show here so you can see what's on offer.
Yeah.
And obviously we will work with both Shona and Cora and the guys up there in Queensland, and we'll have some shoe demo days so you can try the latest La Sportiva footwear out. So we'll get all that sorted, and hopefully we can actually come up this year. I know we sent all the shoes up last year, and I know the guys at K2 and helped out there and helped with those sorts of the demo days. So that's really cool. Just getting people into some pretty cool products so they can test it out as well and have a bit of fun on the trail. So thanks for your time tonight, and we hope you all the best in the lead up to the tournament.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Matt. Thanks,
All right,
Aaron.
cool. Bye.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Thanks for your time.
Bye.
Yeah.